Hello, peeps. I am Tidbit, and I do voice acting. I play games, she, her, and we are voice acting a game, the Ace Attorney trilogy, with Marshy. Say hello.
Hello. Hello.
So, let's get on with it. We're in the middle of case 5. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all,
The victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. Wow, you caught the name change before I did. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It says Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana! Don't tell me you... Much to my regret. I'm as much in the dark about this as they are.
Miss Sky.
Hmm?
We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall.
Huh? What kind of trace evidence?
Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, we're going to have to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
Do what you have to, Mr. Wright.
Okay.
February 24th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is...
I'm afraid you'll have to clarify.
It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the exact same time.
But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow. This is one messed up trial.
One of my duties as a prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what Mr. Edgeworth's... Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? I've completely changed his voice just then. Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand.
For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
We don't have evidence that it's a murderer.
Things are getting wild from the get-go.
I didn't touch those.
That's okay.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is... that would be murderer, sir.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir.
Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is...
Sir, I'm what you would call a part of the young generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend.
How old is Meekins? Also, sorry for front-loading you on all the characters.
No, it's okay.
If you ever need to tap out on any of them. 22!
I got it.
Just a year younger than Phoenix and 2 years younger than Edgeworth. Yeah, I guess it is a ton of over 30-year-olds relating to the case, except Lana. Lana's the little young'un.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir.
Officer Meekins,
Yes, sir.
give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order.
Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you.
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Whap!
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with.
Welcome to Oppress Everything.
Yippee!
Mr. Meekins, you worked in the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes, now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir.
This fucking thing.
I was sure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
I see. Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen.
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right?
There it is. I found it. This is the one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir.
I see. But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen.
So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir, a knife.
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
Not exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar.
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I see. He must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in the face, sir.
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. It's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gantz delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The chief?
Delivered it? What is that, a videotape?
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection! What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased.
It's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well, it kind of makes sense. There's currently a prosecutor being prosecuted.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into?
One of the wackiest videotapes in Ace Attorney.
this fucking thing.
You know this?
Yeah. Oh, who could that be?
There's a white coat. There's only one person at the police department who has a white coat, so it must be Detective
You're right.
Goodman.
It's Mr. White.
Oh, look at that, something fell.
Yep.
Five Nights at Freddy's is looking real weird.
And he's so interesting, because with all of other Ace Attorney, it's very, like, nothing much happens. This video is as visceral as Ace Attorney gets, because you see people scuffling and fighting. It's not just a simple, oh, he stabbed me and I passed out. It's like, I punched him, and then I disarmed him, and he punched me!
It is like, it is weird for it to suddenly be like 3D models and shit, but that is one thing that makes it like really cool to me. It's like, oh yeah, these are actual like things happening. It's not just like a story, it's actually happening within this world, you know?
Yep, and I also give props to whoever designed the dance cycle for the Blue Badger to... Because it's not just like an out-of-universe thing of, it perfectly hit everything. Someone had to make that. Part of the development team. Someone had to design that and make it look like a weird, wacky, spinny dance.
Get the timing of everything and stuff, yeah. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Security video added to the court record.
Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place.
Instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir.
I love your Meekins voice. It's got that like little charm to it, but also the immense amount of pay that makes me like, oh, I'm glad I'm not doing Meekins.
Honestly, the voice that my girlfriend does for this guy is so funny. I can only hope that I'm doing any kind of service to it. It sounds nothing like this, but...
His face can't be clearly seen in the video. But there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which didn't require Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. But everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in the case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state could testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Hint, hint, Phoenix, fucking save me here.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with the security video, and why is Edgeworth winking at me?
Wink, 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 wink.
Is that Morse code? What is he saying? Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
It sounded like the way Phoenix said that. It's just like, this videotape, the judge tilts his head. This video contained on this tape.
Strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction?
Objection! Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal.
Oh, well, it is Pride Month. Yes, Mr.
Not
Edgeworth?
you, Judge! The other proposals for that man in the striking blue suit. But no,
Oh.
I have a proposition for you.
Ah, yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
I propose we have the defense get in a maid costume. You saw Jax. It's fucking the best thing to do.
No, wait a minute, Edgeworth.
Point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. Use this mechanic.
He would want me to point it out, and he would want me to wear that maid costume. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now put on the maid costume. Sorry.
Not you! No, my eyes! Ah!
I will now play the security tape. With this big red button. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of.
The only time I've ever seen Wright in a maid costume is on a thank you card I stole from a robo lady. I don't know why it was addressed to her. She's much more of a Transformers fan. But I guess when all you have to work with is just a few things, maid costume works.
Edgeworth, can you show that to me after the trial, please?
No, of course. I'll put it in evidence so everyone can see it. No, it's mine!
I hold you in contempt of court.
Ah!
I have to point out a problem in the video? Why is that my job? This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. Trust me. This won't go away. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, and pause the video. It'd be archaic to have to force to go through it each time. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. You are Mr. Wright.
Yeah, I'm not in the video.
Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching the video.
Did this guy ever become a police officer? The voice is so jarring. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? I'm just imagining Phoenix actually having his finger and like he moves it like the cursor does. He's like, there. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Right there. Officer Meekins?
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture.
Idiot, it's not a picture, it's a video.
You're right, Edgeworth.
It's not
Get
some
this idiot
motion
off my
picture. Oh, shit. Don't press me on that statement. Right, honey poo, you wouldn't hurt me.
If you put that maid costume away, then maybe I won't. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Ever so slowly. Michael Jackson music. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
Objection! But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunctions.
Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Yes, only an expert in mech should comment on this.
Stop!
No, it's funny, it's funny.
Stop it!
Also, to pull up art fight, this is for like current time. I don't know if in the future I'll get all the thumbnails sorted out, but I have been very specifically not requesting the thumbnails for the past few ones, so that way everyone can like get their creative juices for art fight that comes tomorrow.
Oh my god, it's tomorrow, isn't it?
I'm freaking out.
I'm so hyped for it.
I'm terrified because I have the quiz to still run. And so I don't know if I'll be able to make it to art fight, but I want to.
Heavy as the crown, you know? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yeah, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor?
Something jammed the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Like raspberry jam or strawberry jam? Oh yeah, I thought so too. What do you mean I have ADHD? There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage. I am holding a foot.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please, I didn't read that. Please point out the fuck.
I didn't do it.
I know.
You know, for a video segment, it does love to auto-scroll.
Mm-hmm. There was something in red and I didn't get to read it. I think it's at the cause. Sacre bleu.
That.
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. God.
And then it plays the entire video again, like you didn't just...
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great distances when I didn't open my car door, sir.
We can't be sure that the item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? And again, we watch this man walk to the locker, and we see him open it up, and the thing falls out really slowly. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my time. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me.
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene...
You gotta understand, for small sensors like that, you could put a piece of gum or tape. Electricity isn't like this powerful beam currenting through the door, unless that is what's going on at the police department, and it's just like, these doors are dangerous!
The police department runs on the power of Zeus himself.
Where do you think I got this white beard?
It is me. Pride is a desire. That's the wrong voice.
There
just might have been some...
Zeus the entire time.
Yeah. There just might have been something that fits the description.
Oh, wait, I just realized Gant would be a greater fit to do the Zeus.
You're right. Ah.
But sir, my insulator, you don't mean...
I think I finally got this one figured out.
I'm a genius.
Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck inside the locker door?
Oh, geez, I wonder what it could be.
Take that, he just throws it in the judge's face.
I
found this near the locker.
I do, I besmirch thee.
I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that that was inside the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident.
Wait, no, I'm the DL6. Why am I reacting?
The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Are you confessing something, Mr. Wright? Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Sir, it would appear so, sir.
You would appear saucer! UFO!
Right there. Order, order, order.
So are we to believe, then, that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Do not be misled, Your Honor. You should have said it the other way around. The witness here got stabbed. The witness did not stab. It's weird. Those lines. I feel like that should be the other way around.
Well, at this point, before this point, they thought that he died from a stabbing or something, didn't he?
Oh yeah, they thought Meekins killed him.
Me.
I sometimes forget that with the fact that we have evidence of the body not being there when Meekins is passed out.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Meekins definitely could have done it.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke? Very well. Begin your testimony.
Mystery Man number 2. There is one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
An ID card record. I see.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Totally not edited by prosecutor hands. Nope. I had Gumshoe do it.
Edited by detective hands.
Yes.
So I'm not a liar.
The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff. We have an entire room for that because, I've ran out of time. Can't talk about the police.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end, and I didn't even hear all of it.
Me too. Although it doesn't make much of a difference.
It's a cop. There are only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Oh my gosh. The idea of just like, we have a special... I should do this again. We have a special room for specifically violent cases involving the police. And see how little is in here? We don't do any bad things. We're the cops.
Oh no, my cat voice is scaring my cat.
Your cat said ACAB.
Good kitty.
Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination.
Just an immediate... just throw evidence at a statement. We always have to press for stuff first. I love when you can just immediately throw evidence at something.
Mm-hmm. I love thinking of it as in, like, Nick's being like, yeah, go on, yeah, and then he just fucking throws it at them like, fuck, take that!
Command grab!
Oh yeah, what about these? Anyway. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense.
No.
When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report? It's only half completed, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right?
Well, no, it could be his ego as well.
You think officers have egos?
It could be the super ego, you never know.
What about the super
I can't
id?
say for sure. That's such a niche fucking reference. Anyway. I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability.
Well, we're doing Ace Attorney. We do all types of humor, because who knows?
True. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response?
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Put on the maid dress.
No.
Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Wait until your birthday. Bravo.
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. What is he up to?
As a reward, can I get a maid dress picture?
Fine, but after work.
Yes! Thumbnail.
No!
Being that the case, being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instance of the murder.
That's Well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
I got a point at the screen. I was looking at a video. This isn't gonna end well.
Well, it seems you've finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime.
So,
So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. Ergo, the evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman.
Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana...
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
The only way a lawyer can.
Edgeworth, if you let me win, I'll wear the maid dress.
You rapscallion? No!
One moment, Your Honor, I gotta get the maid dress.
Which is more important, my win record or my wings record? Fuck. Oh, Phoenix is back to say his line.
One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Where's the maid dress? Don't tell me you're objecting to what was just proven.
I'm putting it on.
Yes.
Emma, stand on that side of the desk, please. Of course
Okay.
not. Okay, that's enough of this. Knowing me, I could keep going for way too long. Of course not.
Ah, you were lying about putting on the maid dress? No!
Yes, and just like you walked into my trap, I almost walked right into the prosecution trap.
Fuck. What are you talking about?
This cross-examining has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder.
Gotta look at the whole video.
Yeah. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
if this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witness for this incident.
This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, do you mean...
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh? Whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is their name?
Good change.
Yep.
Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now in recess.
Reese's Puffs, Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, eat 'em up,
Eat them up, eat
eat 'em
them up, eat them up, eat them up.
February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out.
Lana? You're the one who knows everything! Emma. You always know everything! Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you! I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Sorry.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later.
I love this shit. Wait, Detective Gumshoe! What is it?
Thought I'd pull a Meekins now, did you? You got a lot of nerve, pal, making the detective run all around while he's on duty. And on top of it all, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you, the Chief Prosecutor Sky!
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name?
Never in a million years would I have ever thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident?
But, Lana, That's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
Miss Sky was a witness?
SL9 incident files received from Lana Sky.
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me?
Emma? But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No. No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident... Is that...
I'll never tell.
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No, Lana! That's over with! No!
Emma, wait! She ran away.
Yes, many people run at the fact that this is literally called the So Dark incident.
You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal. I'm out of here.
Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
I'd better take a good look at this file.
To be continued.
Well, that was a great 1 hour stream. Sorry, when we have Marshy here, we have to eat 2 hours.
That's how folks go on.
You're too expensive.
Tip your waitresses. I'll be here for another 13 seconds and then I'm out of here.
February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
Emma didn't come back.
Allow me to fill in the place of all of Tidbit's voices. Great. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh gosh, I just realized how difficult it's going to be hopping from Edgeworth. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. I thought it was Trails of Zero. Nah, not yet. Occasionally helping the elderly across intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind call it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind? I never heard Edgeworth described that way before. I've heard him described a lot of ways, but never that way.
I mean, he howls, but not wind. Not calm. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. Where did you hear that nickname?
You were in charge of
told you
guarding
that.
the evidence room on the day the crime took place, correct? Is this correct?
Oh, dang it, he's not doing the drinking pose. I was gonna be like,
According to the papers, partner.
That's the sound. That's the sound of the stubble getting shaken. Yeah. What do you mean?
A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper could sum it up.
Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English.
You want emphasis on the old, partner? You seem like you'd handle that.
Sure.
Mine jobbeth was to keep a wary eye on the bone orchard. Is that enough?
Chopper.
I got you with that one.
I was about to take a drink and I'm just holding my cup up to my mouth. 'Cause I can't fucking-
Sorry.
I don't know why. It's because you know, like the thing that people tend to do where they'll just put F on the end of every word. My brain also filled every word out of F after you said jobbeth.
My jobbeth waseth to keepeth warieth I on that bones orchard.
I have a stutter. I'm a bit like
That's probably the dumbest joke we've. Oh, Christ, I need a drink. Fucking hell.
It is the hour into stream when drinks are like suggested. I can't even get back into the voice.
My job.
I can't say it. We need the thumbnail to be right in a maid dress, and it says right maid.
Writeth. This madeth. Oh, fucking hell.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They say I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail.
McCree is fun to still do, even though there's a tiny bit of dysphoria tick damage.
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks in the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He's not being very helpful.
But actually, he is being super helpful.
But actually, he's not.
He's not that good with machines, mech in art fight terms. Or
Stop!
I'm sorry.
Leave me alone!
or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't. This one seems like trouble.
All of my characters are worm type.
I make them out of my beard hairs. Okay, Mr. Wright. He's all yours.
My turn. The day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard.
Oh, jeez. We take this out with one piece of evidence.
What is it? What is it? What is it? Well, you know what? Considering it's that bit of evidence, I'm not surprised that's all it takes. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet, you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
Why did you only just now question it? It's quite simple.
Because I'm fucking suspicious as hell.
You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or, to be exact, a handprint.
Trail of handprint. Ain't heard that one. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects. That is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Nuh-uh. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. In blood. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints?
Very well. You may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it.
When did you know the murderer was wearing gloves? The witness's explanation appears valid. Although, there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it.
Like I said, it's only natural. What do we do here? Oh, fuck.
Wait a minute, that's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month?
Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is just a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently, his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it.
Or didn't you know?
How do you know that?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture?
This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this.
The security tape.
So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner?
What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have.
But that video was next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
Objection! We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
do ba dee da dee da bee ba dee ba da boo. Do ba dee da da dee ba dee do. Da da dee da 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 da.
Seika Blue. Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Quick shot.
Mm-hmm. Very well.
That's 2.
You can clearly be seen in this video.
8-shot revolver. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video.
That locker with the white cloth sticking out? That was the witnesses, I believe.
Now then, let's rewind the video a bit.
Somebody get on that. Turn it around, flip it and reverse it.
Oh! The white cloth, it's gone!
I used to be able to say a sentence in backwards. I had it memorized, but now it's gone. Yeah.
Just like the white cloth. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order!
Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. I didn't touch anything.
No, it's alright.
But
My
you
stream
got
is
it.
also a little bit laggy, so...
Yeah.
But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
Fucking idiot. This screenshot is so funny because he's so cool and I know what's going on. There's 2 security systems in there, the camera and the ID. I couldn't have been the one to open it. Even Gumshoe knows that there's a fingerprint lock. Fuck. Oh. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. Oh my gosh, you're even using the he pronoun. Oh, fuck. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Even the judge knows it!
Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
This guy
isn't just plain dumb. He really doesn't know.
I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh my gosh, it got... The latency has gotten lagged.
Yeah, it's really...
Let me see if I can edit the stream quality. Is this still legible?
It's the stream share. That's the thing that's lagging.
Yeah.
I've got the stream open on my other one. That's fine.
Yeah, I changed the stream share quality from
Yes, it is.
tiny.
Oh, yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. Fingerprint sensor?
We talked about we talked about this earlier today.
What happened? Did you get caught on a tightrope?
The words stopped showing up for a second.
Oh my gosh. We talked about.
The T never showed up, and then all the words then popped up.
Oh gosh. Sounds like my latency is getting wacky. Oh, it is. It is. My stream health ain't doing too good.
Ooh.
And also Doll showed up. Came in on a wheeze that lagged into a trade whistle.
Oh no.
Yep. Something's chewing on the internet. Let me see.
It might be good now, because I can see the little arrows in the bottom right doing their little diggity dance. I can see Phoenix blinking perfectly fine.
Yep, the only thing that's chewing on the network as opposed in Taskmaster are the ones that should be. Great.
It might have just been a momentary thing, you never know.
Yeah. Doll came in and just rumbled the entire stream. Their power.
The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't even know about the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
Not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty.
God damn it, he's got me there. It's like Beetlejuice. If you say it 4 times, then it's true.
Oh my god, one word for you. No! I only got 2 words for you. High noon.
Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself.
If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay! Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right. The only possible conclusion.
It seems he has the right answer.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Boop. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
We all dress into fancy things. I've seen the maid dress. Objection! No, you haven't. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
Oh God, what was the voice? When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it.
What?
As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown.
How did the judge get that before me? What?
Officer Meekins would have realized that man wasn't Detective Goodman.
Why is Tid not the judge? Because, Because it's then more even in courts, because I knew I was going to be Jake and Edgeworth. When Emma's not here. So it's just Phoenix and the judge for Marshy. And plus, doing the judge hurts my throat. We keep on having to pull in the goddess because it hurts. Jake, okay. Jimmy here maid outfit 2 stream just happened. Do you know those string of words, Marshy?
I feel like I've heard the name Jimmy here, but I can't place it.
Emma's busy not learning about trans people. You know, she's off running about because trauma.
Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
Oh, I DM'd you those string of words when they happened. It's the Wednesday, my dudes guy.
That's why his name's familiar.
Okay.
Right.
You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Wait, no, circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
That's the same damn line.
Literally. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as a maid? I mean, the victim. Well, what? Who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems like you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
This can't be happening. So obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. You're not a maid.
Oh.
You're just some cosplayer.
I could be.
I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no places to go, return to the basics.
The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that. He opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
Dramatic low point in the romance movie. I thought you were my maid, but you're just a custodian. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take yet another look at that security tape.
For the last time. This really is the last cross-examination.
After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open the locker.
Oh boy, we gotta watch it again.
Also, it's pretty sad that I've only just gotten why it's a blue badger.
Because they badger for evidence.
It's also just because of, like, police badges and shit.
Yep. There's a lot of things that work with it.
I'm a stoop sometimes.
Phoenix is just rubbing it back and forth. Why isn't it working? Emma! Fuck, Emma's not here! What do I do?
It's somewhere around here. You just hear like the squeak of his finger on the screen. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman. What the heck was that?
Oh.
What? What was that?
That noise is the sound of my straw I put into my can of tea.
Oh.
I did it because it's just like, hey, I know this makes a noise when I pull the straw in and out. What if I try and use that as like the screen thing? But I forgot it has that special audio quality that makes my teeth hurt.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16, the really last one. Look at Meekin's chin. He dressed as a good man. Happy Pride Month.
And entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. Yet.
However, I'm hearing the neighbor's puppy through the wall. Sorry. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meeking's
Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him.
Show me your Alphabet Mafia card in this Pride Month. You're in the closet right now. Show me you're actually trans.
However...
I met someone like that. They're exhausting.
Jesus. Do you want to know the funniest things that I've legitimately, like, gotten, like, a card for the shits and giggles?
Eh?
I've actually gotten, like, a card and I keep it in like, my purse.
Wait.
I'm like...
What does it say on the card?
It's, I could grab it. It's got my name on it, and it's, like, lifetime membership to the... It's like a lifetime membership card, and it's got, like, my specific flags on it.
Oh, neat.
Let me see if I... Wait. Did I move it? Did I move it? Did I lose it? Oh, no. No, there it is. It's underneath the thingy. Sorry.
The puppy is hardcore prison tunneling with a squeaky toy through the wall to get out. Don't stand in its way, Marshy.
No, it's like a little one, and they're training it to, like, sleep on its own, essentially downstairs. I'm just hearing it howling.
Oh, no.
It's when I first heard it, I couldn't tell if it was an owl or not, because it had that kind of, like, that pitch to it. Yeah. But it's just a little Rottweiler puppy. Yeah, lifetime membership, proud to be, and then it's got, like, my flavor of queer, and then my name on it. And then it's, like, got a little small text at the bottom that says, your membership can be changed to a different identity at any time. Don't let labels limit you.
Yeah.
I love it. I got it for the
Happy
shits
Pride
and
Month,
giggles and everything.
This is the last time we can have Marshy on stream. It's the end of Pride Month.
Oh no.
I'll still be on
It's
stream. I'm just going back in the closet. I'll just
No,
sound like
you're
Officer
not.
Marshall again.
I'm locking the door. You can't get in.
Wait, the line.
Officer
please.
Meekins panicked.
Panicked.
Panic. Marshy will be replaced with 6 other gays. Is that the maths of it?
Damn.
Marshy is equal to 6 gays. And the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. Well, it's the tariffs, that's why I'm expensive.
Oh.
Sorry. A bloody white coat.
Yeah, I'm feeling the tariffs, but only at one particular location when buying my Transformers.
Oh.
Yeah. Luckily, I pre-ordered them when they have their lower price, and so if they try and give me the higher price, I can literally pull out my receipt that says no. I am expecting to pay this price for this good. You promised me this price at the pre-order time. Fucking don't come at me. Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. I'm just like, why is it just this place?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have
I will
GameStop
ask
over
the web,
there.
but I don't want to.
But GameStop.
GameStop?
Yeah.
They got that over here, yeah.
Yeah. They are hiking the prices of my Transformers.
You should write a strongly worded letter.
Yeah,
Tell them that their mothers are ashamed of them.
I'm not going to write a strongly worded letter. I'm just going to start using Target and Walmart online now because they've got exclusives. GameStop doesn't have exclusives anymore because they keep on threatening to go bankrupt.
Oof.
Chat don't work on stream by the... Oh no! That's what I forgot!
Kid!
Fuck!
You messed it up, we gotta start again.
You pop out chat. Grab chat. Properties. Input chat.
I'm partially to blame for that, I should have noticed.
No, it's okay. Boom. There's your first Marshy, you cheater.
I'm not a cheater.
Here's all of chat.
Yay.
Woo.
Alright.
I'm glad that I'm a small YouTuber and I can have like a small chat.
Hey.
Small personal chat. And if I ever want a small personal chat again, I'll just set like the subscriber thing to be like, you gotta be subscribed for at least a year or something like that.
Ooh. I didn't realize it went up that long.
Yeah. You can make it real exclusive.
A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now. Now would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it.
All right. It seems the time has come. The bell tolls for thee.
That little puppy. It's got a set of lungs on it.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. Note how I said that.
So the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still do not understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor in the evidence room. And no one was murdered. Then how... If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Period.
It's just like the nonchalant way he said it. Period.
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
Oh, frick, it's a press all.
Oh,
I had
God.
to do it. I had to make this a press all.
When you say it, you mean
Do you even have to ask, partner?
the SL9 incident?
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. Planned to take out the evidence.
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So, you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident.
That really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So, essentially, you... Oh my goodness, you dropped a card at a crime scene. And you're wearing fingerless gloves. You managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight, it seems.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. You can only burn them off at a Benihana. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
Tidbit, Doll has a question.
Well. Question. Is this more visual novel or more point and click? This is still visual novel territory. I always, consider the gold standard of point and click to be, LucasArts style games of where you gotta, merge items together. You got this inventory you keep track of, and you take items and you combine it at locations. I'm allergic to point and click. So yeah, this is still visual novel of find the right thing to continue it. Or find the right path to have the worst path.
Ooh.
I just watched the Game Grumps Henry Stickmin game, and I would consider that a visual novel. It's mostly a choose-your-own-adventure, but I love games like that. I so want that game, but it costs money.
How much money?
I don't know. We can talk about it later.
Okay. Because your rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door.
That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out.
Yeah, because I currently have the guide open on Steam, so if I go to the store page...
You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I was only planning on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. It's a quarter minute shy of the devil's lunch break.
Also, I find it kind of ridiculous that it's like, I was attacked with a knife! I wonder who has a knife!
I have a knife.
Yes. Oh my god, you're so right.
I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me, and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say.
They literally call it out in the text. Whoops.
Yeah. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
I'm sorry, Doll said something. You know what else costs money? Friend here, Fry. What? I was attacked with a suspiciously tit-shaped balloon. I envy you, Doll.
You envy them. They were attacked.
It should have been me!
So you did your research beforehand?
Those who go in the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, envy. Fuck. envy. You bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day...
There wasn't any murder in the evidence room.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So, you stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually, no I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether to answer or not.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This would have serious consequences. You can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine.
You know what isn't free? Burger King mozzarella stick. No, it's not. Stick bug.
And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
It's getting dark in my room.
But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes, and so has Marshy's room become so dark.
I gotta go turn a lamp on.
One thing
It's
I can say
like 10.
One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Nearly said brothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know.
One's talking about it.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later.
Judge, you can't just comment on another man's zeal amount in public. Joe d'Arc.
Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files.
I had to do it. I couldn't just stand by and let it die.
Press on every statement. Present. We never read this. Incident number SL9. Closed. Perpetrator, Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder. Sentence, death. Victims, Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall.
Kirby?
Head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses, Lana Skye, Emma Skye. Executive investigators, Damon Gant, Lana Skye. Head investigators, Bruce Goodman. Investigators, Jake Marshall, Angel Star.
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims, Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor? Must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right. He was killed. I forgot I was Marshall for a second. And the case fell into your hands.
But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother.
I really hate his hair. I'm sorry. Every time he takes the hat off, I'm like, put it back on.
Yeah, it's not great hair. It looks matted. It looks nasty.
Like, that's the thing, like, when I first played this game, I didn't think it was hair. I thought it was, like, a thing of the hat, like a veil or something coming down.
Yeah, like a little heat veil.
Yeah. But then he takes it off, and I'm like, ugh.
He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. See?
Oh, I guess that is Jake up there. That's his hair, and then Neil's hair is here. Frick. I always thought it was the other way around, where he literally took up the mantle of this badge after his brother died.
We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. It was all we needed.
Hey, Tibbet. Joe Dark? Would.
I mean, you are a monster.
And I like old people.
Yep. Double. Double
Yeah.
kill.
Sorry, you can continue.
He was arranged and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
Well, at least one thing's for certain.
My brother was not the type to get murdered.
Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. No, it doesn't. There was a pool of blood.
But wait. Wait a minute.
Ugh, I got a burping fit. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection! Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. Marshy?
Huh?
There was a but.
Oh, but...
There's only one reason for the defendant. There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
It seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office, and the only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less.
Nuh-uh.
Adieu, I rest my ergo, I rest my case.
No bow to doubt it. It's
Yeah,
its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time I keep my hand over the spacebar, and I just kind of... I have a very sensitive keyboard.
It's okay. I was reading Doll's funny little wordplay.
Oh. No doubt about it.
No about it.
Those are
Doubt
not
it.
normal cowboy boots. Man has a stilettos.
Yeah, what of it? Disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
They're for gripping the stirrups real good when riding a horse.
Yep.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true.
The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize.
That would end up proving Lana guilty.
It really shouldn't, but this world is wacky.
Yep.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Objection! Hold it! Your Honor, wait! Hang on!
Emma!
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, Wright?
That's your name, isn't it?
Mr. Wright?
See?
Are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor?
Please, Your Honor. All I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
He's so generous, isn't he?
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. That only left one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
What? So, did you find something?
No.
Huh?
Sorry. I guess it's not much of an... I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But, Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright.
With regard to the incident with at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Right? Only you can point this out.
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more help. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I've ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
I know.
Could there be something I'm missing? Objection! This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yeah, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on here?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time.
Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. And the question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans?
What about that piece of plywood? Why are you presenting that?
He's just pulling it up and out.
The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. This is as childish as the Steel Samurai. Don't make me get hooked on the Blue Badger, you blue idiot.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
The Blue
My
Bladder?
My tongue's getting sleepy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm just gonna be messing up a little bit sometimes.
I mean, if you want to leave, you can. I can take over.
No!
No.
No.
So?
So watch what happens when we put him in.
Is this you, Blue Badger?
No. Check under your foreskin.
I love that video.
What?
There's it's like you know how like TikTok has like the duet kind of thingy? There's this one video of like this girl is like, is this your card? No, check under your foreskin. And then this dude, he's got a pack of cards ready out of a frame. And he fucking, you know when you like squeeze the ends and they all come shooting up? He does that directly in his face and it's really funny.
Ah!
Sorry.
Did you read this one?
Yes.
This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well? Well, what? That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here...
I'm sorry, I was imagining Wright in a maid dress. What are we doing?
Stop it, Andrew. It would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
Oh, good golly gosh, that's ridiculous. What?
So that means... just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me, I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it
But-
through scientifically.
I thought you were over there. Why are you here? Emma.
I have legs. I have agency. I can walk.
You were real quick. I didn't see you come right next to me.
On that afternoon,
Yeah.
Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right?
Mm-hmm.
After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
That's what I just said.
Wait, so that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice.
But how? There's only one person who can have a period in that room each day.
One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time.
You're telling me that Meekins didn't have a period in that room? We're going to have to dock his pay.
Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Objection! That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. Without a maid dress.
The officers in that district fucking hate each other. They wouldn't sync. So... the...
Doll is still here in spirit. Taking us out one by one.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker.
Objection! So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. I'm starting to fall into XP level 3 type of talking.
When did the first incident occur? I don't know. To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well. Then tell us. When did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at... Let's see here. 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Ah! Ah! Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done?
Only I can say my name, Miles Edgeworth.
Miles.
I never would have figured you'd had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away.
by the real murderer.
You would have... I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 777-7777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there is no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation.
Yep. They could have gotten away with it if we didn't have this one loose end of this one ID. If the murderer just went, "Hey, Detective Goodman, could you please use your ID card?" What? I gotta make it, like, non-specific.
Yeah. It was good. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777777.
That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present.
What?
Explain yourself, son. You ain't my daddy. The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Objection. But that's ridiculous. Just how...
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor That's how the prosecutor's office operates. Objection! I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would just keep your slander to yourself.
I accidentally added a just, but that really just added.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana?
Objection! Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident.
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial, 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence.
Stop flashbanging the courtroom.
See, that's what I'm talking about. No. No!
Order! 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 Order!
This is Phoenix.
The Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
You got most of them.
I got it. I was reading it off of the delayed stream.
Yeah.
The screen share.
That is a great use of that.
Yep.
Since we don't have a history tab. They need to update this port.
Mm-hmm. It's only what,
February
17?
24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright and Co. Law Offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I spoke the green before you could finish your thought.
It's okay.
I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. This truly is a flashback moment where we can be silly about it. It just happened. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order to get him the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings.
Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean, what happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He was the last Neil in the coffin. I'm pretty sure that's the joke. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me.
What? He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. What'd you say, Marshy?
Tag me in.
Of course, you'd want to be stabbed by Joe Dark. Oh, Marshy, you're so precious. That little laugh. That little laugh after saying, yes, I want to be stabbed by that old man.
So that means you.
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming.
Ba-da-ba. Alright, we talk. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. Well, yeah, because the case is being closed for being a thing 2 years. So, yeah, it'd be around this time. That's a silly line. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. It was Joe Dark. I mean, so dark. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then, suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office.
Joe Dark.
It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Joe Dark tried to take me hostage. But before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then,
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
Stream might be a little fucky wucky at the minute.
Oh, great.
Should we proceed anyway? It seems fine now. A permanent picture?
I'm just double checking the stream health. Because sometimes it does that as a warning of just like, hey, the stream's about to get worse. It's just sitting at me. Stream health. Excellent. No, it fucking ain't. It's doing it again.
Oh, yep.
We'll open up the court record. She's a 14-year-old remembering her murder. Leave her alone, did. No.
Oh boy.
Luckily, this is the last investigation segment.
Alright. Is it back? Are we back now?
Stream health. No data.
Maps.
Error.
Oh, Ibby.
Ibby?
I said yippee.
Oh, yippee.
Doll does have a good point. If it's gonna be kind of fucky, we've gone for 2.5 hours and we've got a trial under the belt.
Okay. Yeah. I'll even just kill it so we just start at the last save.
Alright.
Actually, no, because even though there's no data, Stream still remembers all of this. Actually, I don't know if it does. So yeah, I'll just kill it. Die.
Alright.
Alrighty, but yeah, if you can still see us, thank you for watching. Next stream will be Monday, noon PST. Subscribe to be notified when it comes out. Like the stream, comment your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. Say bye-bye, little Marshy.
Goodbye. Links in description.
Yeah.